A post-bushfire aerial survey of wild horses in the Kosciuszko National Park has reignited a 20-year debate. Conservationists say they pose a serious threat to the fragile alpine ecosystem, and now there's a renewed push from inside the state government to dramatically cut numbers.
The Snowy Mountains wild brumby is an iconic part of Australian folklore.
A story of love. A story of a boy who becomes a man.
But according to environmentalists, they are also a feral pest, exploding in numbers in the New South Wales Kosciuszko National Park, threatening the survival of rare species and the health of the Snowy River catchment. Conservationists have been crying out for a dramatic cut in the numbers for 2 decades, with the state government up to now showing little enthusiasm for controlling numbers in the park.
The do-nothing approach we've seen just doesn't work, and I think governments of both persuasions, I think, should feel some responsibility to this world-class national park and stop it being overrun by feral horses.
An online parliamentary petition to repeal the Kosciuszko Wild Horse Heritage Act in 2018, which protects brumbies, closed this week.
You've got to make it clear that the priority of the national park is native animals. This special legislation passed 2.5 years ago gave privileged status to a feral horse in a national park. That is objectionable to conservation, it's objectionable to the park managers. It's just made the job a lot harder.
There is no opportunity that bill will be changed. Look, there's no question. I may have some colleagues on my side of politics, as in the Liberal Party, that would like to see that bill removed. And, you know, I cop a lot of grief and maybe some, and along with the anti-Brumby groups, working hard to oust me as a local member. But as I said, I've turned up to 3 elections on this policy in a balanced, measured way. And I've seen more horses leave the park or be removed from the park under my watch than previously.
Liberal Environment Minister Matt Keane says the horses' hard hooves damage the ecosystems of threatened species like the corroboree frog, and wants to break the impasse by working with the community on the best way to reduce numbers. Following the Black Summer bushfires that decimated the national park, an aerial survey of brumby numbers reviewed by the CSIRO and independent experts has counted more than 14,000, 5,000 less than before the bushfires, but still much higher than in 2016.
I've always argued that we've got to find a balance. There are areas in Kosciuszko National Park where we don't want to see any horses, but there are other parts you can hold horses, and the target figure that we've always argued for is between 3,000 and 4,000.
John Barilaro has very rarely relied on science for any decisions he's made. He's been ignoring the science, ignoring the facts, and the Premier and Matt Keane have been pandering to him for years. And consequently, poor Kosciuszko National Park has been suffering under the trampling of the hooves of these hard, heavy animals for years now, with no action from this government.
Former National Party member for Monero, Peter Cochrane, says after extensively riding on horseback through the park, he believes there are way less than 14,000 and that the brumbies are not the problem.
What I'm trying to tell people is that they're being duped by this whole exercise of this whole issue of the brumbies. It's simply a decoy. The greatest damage that's occurred to the Kosciuszko National Park in the last 50 years is a fire in 2003 and a fire in 2020.
Despite the internal push to reduce numbers from within the government, the long and drawn-out battle over how the horses will be removed and how many shows no sign of being resolved. Kenny Heatley, Sky News.